Happy Monday evening. Actually doing a take two to try to shorten this up a little bit. Yeah, it was 6 o'clock when I started before. Kind of just wanted to touch base, go over some of the fun I've had, some of the new subscribers I would like to welcome. New build, Boo. Um, love my drones, Mr. Ed. Got me inspired. I'm going to rip this guy, I think, at work the next couple days, or I don't know, on the weekend, and see if I got some time. I got to finish painting the house. Um, First off, color surfing. I think that's my new favorite video that I've done. That quad, the iFlight Mega B, is my favorite quad. I've kind of changed my style from complete freestyle, just flipping, rolling, hardcore speed, and kind of dulled back. I just kind of found my niche with more of a cinematic, relaxed flyer to playing in the trees. I think my new favorite passion. Going through the branches, just weaving your way nice and calmly has just become an addiction. That's all I did all weekend, and as you can see, I've had some fun. Um, I put it in acro, and I was just ripping around the yard talking with my father while I was flying, and I bumped one little branch, and it came down, and it hit just like this, and I could hear it through the goggles, an explosion of plastic, and it just completely shattered both guards. That's all right. No big deal. I'm okay with that. I actually prefer the fact that they'll break like that versus these being too smushy where they go in, hit the prop, and you can ruin an ESC or even a motor if you're still on the throttle or whatnot. So he said he's going to hook me up with some more of the prop guards, so I look forward to that. I got this crazy mount he printed. I don't know I forgot what he said it's made out of. It's super, super mushy, but I took a piece of some foam that I have, and it kind of absorbs some of that looseness that it had and stiffens it right up. No vibration. It is my new addiction. This quad is so fun to fly. So, so awesome. My only question for anybody that has, a Cinewhoop or anything out there, if you're not flying in acro and you're doing a level mode and you're just coming down, I was high up, and I started coming down, and I started getting this weird kind of sideways wash. I'm assuming that's prop wash. If there's a way to tune it out, I would love to know. I raised my idle air up a little bit, hoping when I throttled down that would catch it. I might even do it some more. I heard adding a little more eye gain in the roll could do it, and also the lowering the D term a touch and going into the filtering, the notch filters or or the D filter, whatever the hell it is, that would help with that. But yeah, if you guys are looking for something cinematic to fly around people, to catch soccer games or whatever, people are going to be much more apt to be, tolerant with something like this, that even if you bump into something or somebody, they're not getting hurt. This is the way to go. That is my future. As in, I'm already building one. I'm going to call this one Boo because Halloween's my favorite and the colors match. That was orange. ADD moment. Yeah, I'm in the process of this. I kind of stopped. I got the motors all wired up and the capacitor, power wire, tested it, make sure the board didn't blow up. I don't know if I can get this off. I wanted to show you guys real quick. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. It's kind of a catch here. Stuck. Oh, there we go. There we go. So what's cool about this thing is that all your wires are kind of hidden, and at the same time, it's a pain in the butt because I like showing off the detail and work. So I got the motor wires. I got the heat shrink around here, so it's super, super clean. And I hope that comes through. I had to extend the wires, which was crazy, like a quarter of an inch. It was kind of a pain in the ass, so I had a bunch of little pieces of heat shrink. But it is super, super clean so far. Not many things. The receiver that actually came in Mr. Cinematic here is this tiny little full speed receiver, and I took it out because I didn't realize that you have to use the CLI thing in Betaflight, which I am not proficient with in any stretch of the imagination. So I thought I had a bad receiver and lost my freaking marbles because I'm like, the thing doesn't light up, there's no bind button. So I guess there's some commands that you have to type in to put it into bind mode, and then when you unplug and plug in, it supposedly goes into bind. So I'll be reaching out for some help, try to get that done this weekend. So I'm going to solder that up. I already got the beeper on there. I'm going to do an LED on this one, so if it decides to get stuck in a tree or something, hopefully it'll be easier to find. I'll have to come up with something fancy for that. I think I don't know. I have a GoPro mount for it, which is right here, but I also am going to be running this thing right here. This is one of the first Cadex Turtle V2s, because it has that polymer lens and not that, I think I don't know what the hell that lens is, the one that's darker on it. But I may run this. Obviously, I'll get more flight time because there's less weight, so nothing will have to work harder. Yeah, so what am I running on here? Garden FPV sent me these. These are the Brother Hobby. 1408, 3700 kV. Can you read that? Where is it? 1407, 3600 kV. Those things should be perfect on there. So it'll still be a little quick ripper and be able to fly through the trees. I don't know how that camera will be compared to the best camera on the planet, the Cadex Red Tail. I will say that in every video because that camera has changed everything for me. You can see more. You can go a little bit faster because you can actually kind of plan. I like to plan out my flight path. It's kind of weird how I think and fly. You know, I'm already like a car in a race in a sense where you're kind of planning your next spot as you're going. And it's fun with this guy, especially going through the trees because, you know, you're not going super, super fast. But I can see all those little branches you can't see in any of the other cameras. World of difference. Going from a dark place to a light place through the trees out into the sun. There's no change, no real time for that transition. It's almost instant. I was in a tree and I'm like, okay, I need a way out. And I saw this tiny little light spot. As soon as I got to it, I'm like, okay, wait for the transition and then worry about if there's going to be another tree I got to go to. And it was instant. So I just kept on flying. Best camera out there. If you're on the fence, don't be on the fence. Jump over on this side and get one. Definitely worth it. I did the contemporary challenge too, and that was one of my favorite videos also, as in how the edit came out, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I put a lot of thought into the flight, the edit, for things that a lot of people don't see. Is somebody just sits down and watches a video, and I guess, you know, you don't read much into it, but you know, just like when you make a movie, you know, there's certain lighting transitions and effects that they put in to make you feel a certain way. And I sat and I listened to the song and I was already in love with it to begin with, so I had it in my head. I played it while I was flying. I did change a little bit, you know, I added some transitions and stuff like that because I wanted certain high points and low points. But I used the sun because the song's about a relationship, you know, a breakup, but he's trying to get back with her in that kind of fight, like a contemporary dance where two people are kind of fighting, throwing each other off of themselves, but keep running back. And I kind of had that process in my head with the dance. That's Evo, my second build, and that's what I used for that flight. I didn't use one of my more cinematic quads because I wanted to fly that one. I haven't flown in a while. My only gripe with it is that the angle on the camera is super, super kicked back for going faster because that's its purpose, but it's a super smooth flying quad. I thought it would be perfect for it. It had the speed, you know, so in the song when he starts to get aggressive and sing, and I wanted to be able to shoot up and have that power. So, I mean, it did a phenomenal job. But I used the sun as kind of, you know, the woman in the relationship for the video. So when he's talking about being blinded by the light, I'm flying through the power lines at that sun. And then when he's having second thoughts and talking about it, I go into the neighbor's yard, back kind of into the darkness behind the shadow of the trees. But then as I'm coming back out, I have second thoughts and I'm turning around and looking back. So that's kind of the insanity that I have when I fly, especially when it's like a challenge like that where you want to blend the song with your flight. That, like I said, that's the contemporary challenge for me. It's a little more than just, you know, hey, flying through a gap or doing this, doing that. This is where you blend your hands, your physical being with something that is not human. It doesn't have emotion. You try to transition that into that flight and give it emotion. And Stace, thank you for shouting me out and letting everybody know about the challenge. I really appreciate it. Your video was fantastic, super smooth. Because one of the huge verses in it is something in the water and you flew over the water. I caught that. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, and there's a bunch of people. I encourage you to try. This isn't like a, you know, because we've been flying a long time challenge. I don't care if this is your first day flying. Get out there, just feel the music. This is how the challenge started for me. The original one was just trying something different. Trying to teach yourself a new trick. I'm an old dog, man. I'm 42. I thought this was my flight style and this is the only way that I can fly, which was freestyle in the beginning. And then I started to realize that I am way more of a cinematic, relaxed, chill flyer. And this is my avenue. I find that I enjoy blending the emotion into the flight. It's art. It's art in the air, so obviously I am very passionate about it. For you new guys, don't worry about it if your video's shaky or you don't know how to edit. Just fly to the time of the song and put it, and then you'll start seeing things, and then you'll start learning to transition and edit and stuff like that. That's how you start. So the whole purpose of this is just to push yourself a little bit, to try something new, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, because then the addiction, like the rest of us, you'll be hooked as bad. What else is working? I got to work on the house this weekend, so Mark, if you're watching this, buddy, I finished painting that thing, so the Jello-free mount is black instead of red now. Came out really good. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to work on this, see what's on for Monday Night Football here before I fall asleep. So thank you guys, all the new subscribers. Welcome, Stace. I appreciate, like I said, the shout. Some new people sent in this direction. One big FPV family. That's why we're here. You ever have a question about how to build a quad, how to tune? I do intros and outros, so if anybody ever needs any help with something like that, by all means, hit me up. And stay tuned, and I hope you guys jump on the Contemporary Challenge too, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace out.